Are you a thinker? Then, if you are, welcome to my show, Think. How are you? Hope everything is okay. It is a wonderful pleasure to always come here to speak to you. Welcome, all of you, via YouTube, via Facebook. We welcome you. It's a new show, as I have said. All the heavy politics and everything, we're not doing this again. We're going smooth, we're going light, and to educate you and to help you. We'll have light moments, fun moments, serious moments, but it is a show for everybody to join in. And I found it was extremely hot today. What do you say? It's like it's a heat that is just sticking on you wherever you are. It's just not coming out. It's like very, very, very humid, very hot. And tell me, did you feel that heat? Well, those in St. Lucia, well, I know those in New York, the UK, and all over. I know you guys have been dealing with the heat. Now, as you know, my show is sponsored through coffees. You help us cause the show to move forward by sponsoring and helping us by purchasing a digital coffee. And as we said, we're looking for sponsors. I'm waiting for some responses to come back. So I'm going to have some sponsors on my show and for us to take the show to higher heights. So take a listen of the coffee video. Now, my people, I was just having a sip of water. So humid. Now, my people, you know, I always speak about my producer, and my producer is saying to me that, you know, he has automated so much stuff for the show. And as I've said to you, this young man, Akeem Ernest, is a perfectionist. And sometimes I have to say, it's okay, leave it, it's fine. He said, no. And it's good when you have people around you, especially young people, who cause you to think and to do things in a better way. So this is a role model child. This is a young man that loves his mother like crazy. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, he thinks I'm his wife, I'm his girlfriend. You know, it's like, where are you? What you doing? Mothers, you know, those of you who have boys, mommy, where are you? Mommy, what you doing? Those of you who have boys would know. So next week Sunday, not this Sunday coming, the following Sunday, the 7th, is my birthday. And you know, I have decided I am somebody, I like small things. I don't like the big burara. I'm very, you know, so I am a breakfast person. I do not really like I'm not a lunch, I'm not a dinner person. I'm a breakfast person. And I am contemplating if to have breakfast or if to just do lunch. You understand? But you know, I will treat myself with my two offsprings, my boys. You know, when I was pregnant, I always asked God for boys. You see, like people want girls, I always ask God for boys. So I remembered for my 50th birthday, Kyle, Akeem, and myself, we went across, we had brunch at, and I always do things with my boys, right? I always do things with my boys. They do not have girlfriends for me to invite the girlfriends. So I always do things with my boys. So we had lunch at Big Chef, and not lunch, sorry, breakfast at Big Chef. And these boys said to me that was the best breakfast they had, because they have been to different, when it was Kyle's birthday, his father took him to Harbor Club or whatever, Akeem was there and everything. And then these children said the best breakfast they had was with me at Big Chef. And I'm telling you, it is good. Big Chef, I give you all free promotion. I hope when I come next week, Sunday on the 7th, you'll give me discount. It's just to wrap with you, I know some people, sometimes they have a hard day and they cannot take everything in. So, just to bring you into my world, what I'm doing, to get to know So I am a very nice person. Anybody who knows me will tell you I'm a no-nonsense person. After we fight, we quarrel, and then we back all lovey-dovey again. It's fine. This is me. You understand? So, I know a lot of people are going through a lot of financial hardship. All of us, because most of us go to the stores, people, to the supermarket. And I just cannot believe it. Imagine, people, I shopped, and let me give you a joke. We went to Massey. I was in town, and then, Massey, sometimes the machine, the Bank of St. Lucia, sometimes maybe offline, or they have to use another machine. So the groceries were already taken out to put in the vehicle. So I am there. I gave the lady, let me come, let her swipe my card so I can pay my groceries. So I give the lady my card to swipe, for her. She said, oh, this one is not working. The thing came out. So she goes somewhere else. I'm like, she's giving me my card, and she's telling me my card declined offline. I'm like, okay, it declined offline? Not possible. So I told her, give me my card, because your machine always have a problem. And I went to the ATM to get money. So my son was taking the other bag to put the other bag in the vehicle. She said to him, stop, not to go. So she said, no, it's just procedure. So when I went back, she saw I came with the money, because is the machine not working? The ATM was working. So when I saw her the next time, I went again to do some shopping, because groceries not lasting, people. Are we surviving now? Oh dear, people in hard, So then I said to her, oh, we are back, we are here. So I said, my son told me you told him not to go. I tell him, you think we were going to go with the groceries? She died laughing. I tell her. And she said, oh, but look, you guys are here today shopping again. So, it is just, to lighten up the session tonight. So you feel, sometimes I come and I give you a lot of information, and sometimes, it can be a lot. So I'm just going easy with you tonight, and let's just, ease it up, because I know everybody is going through the financial crisis, and we need some relief. And on my page, I was asking some people, and I am happy. I am happy that the people who are now interacting with the show, interacting with me, it is not solely because of politics. Because I like people to interact with me. Okay, I am just there. It's not about politics, but we're just talking and we're just rapping. And then I was asking some questions to some people, finding out how they are coping with inflation, what they are doing with groceries. So one of the young ladies said she cooked for like 3 days, for a couple of days. And that is very good to save her gas. Because people, when a tank of gas, the 22-pound cylinder is $50. And the 20-pound is like 43 something, 44 something, or whatever it is. It's a lot of money, because right now we have to make the small changes for us to survive. And it's not only here, it's everywhere. Because when I posted that question, I had people from overseas who also answered and said they too are going through it. It is tough days. Now, the young lady said that she cooks every 3 days. Now, I am somebody, like I said to her on the weekend, I cooked my chicken, I baked my chicken, I baked my pork and whatever. It kind of helped, but the kind of person I am, I like to eat fresh food. I really cannot eat like you cook and you leave the food, it kind of get me sick. Oh, my children will eat that. Oh, manger ça, Christmas time, food left. Oh, everybody eating that, having fun. They like mommy food, have the this and that. But I personally cannot do it. So what I do to ease the burden, I look at my electricity. When I was paying $400 and something for electricity, I cut that to 100. Well, since they put the new inflation and the this and the that, I pay my last bill. I paid either 160 something. So you have to try while you are at your home to be very energy savvy. Try to save energy. Do not walk into the fridge and stand up into the fridge. If you're going to the fridge, know what you're going to take. Do not leave all the lights on in your house. That's when I hear people say the electricity bill is so high, mine is not that high. If you have a room have how many lights, right? How many bulbs you have all on when you can just use your night lamp. So this is how I do not leave the bathroom light on. I do not leave the hallway. I do not leave the study room. I do not leave this balcony or whatever. And let me give you some safety tips that one of my dear officers told me. And he told me that for years. A lot of people, when they go to bed, they leave their lights on. Don't leave your lights on. Like they leave their outside lights on. I have said that to one of my neighbors, and she still leaves it on. And I'll give you the logic behind this, what he said to me. He said to me, nobody knows inside your house as you do. So if your light is off, right, outside, it is more a security for you. The better lights to have is the motion, the lights that detects motion, a cat, a rat, a bat, and it would come on. But to leave your light on, he said, first thing, leave all lights off, and which is true. So one night, I am there. I am in my bed sleeping. Akim said he is going to the washroom or whatever. So then I am seeing he's come rushing back in my room, closing the door, and said to me, Mommy, I'm seeing a light in the house. I'm like, what light you seeing in the house? So you know me already. I am myself, and I just walk in my house, and there was no light. I saw what happened. It was actually a vehicle outside, because my property is fairly safe. It was actually a vehicle outside, and then the person must have gone down the road and come back up the road. So I saw that. So I wasn't fearful, because know your property, know what you're doing, be smart, do not panic. When he came to me, I didn't panic. I did what I have to do, and I just walk up to see what he's talking about, and then I realized what was going on. So when you are a lady, the first thing to do is not panic. The first thing to do is not panic. And it is amazing that ladies right now, and I had a young lady saying to me, we need to defend ourselves, which I agree with. Now, a weapon, a firearm, a Glock, is not for everybody. You must test the person's psyche to see whether that person is worthy of a Glock. Now, a lot of people believe that having a firearm gives you safety. It really doesn't give you safety. It really doesn't give you that assurance that nothing is going to happen to you. It may protect you if you have to do what you have to do. But being vigilant is more important, because you may have it and not be able to use it. Now, I know a lot of people are complaining about the new bill where the government or parliament has now passed a bill or amended the firearms bill where for you to get a firearm, it must go through a committee. Before, the commissioner of police was the only one who had the power. And in the past, I believe there were many people who got firearms because of who they know and friends and this and that and that and that. It's time that we have accountability in this country. And not everybody's supposed to have a firearm. Let me tell you something. Your firearm is the last thing you should use. You should really pull out your firearm when it's just danger. You just feel threatened, danger, you pull out your firearm. But you can't just pull out your firearm and you just go in and shoot people, bow, or for disturbance. This is ridiculous. So I believe having a board, I know a lot of people are arguing the fact that this has changed, but I really and truly believe that having that board is good. And the people who need those firearms will get it, because it's like it was just misery to get a firearm, and the people who really needed the firearm could not have gotten it. So why? The commissioner is not a rubber stamp, because he should be there to guide the rest of the board and whoever else they put on that committee. Because we do things in this country anyhow. Look at how we just want the government to give away lands, give away crown lands. We are asking government to do a lot of wrong things. I don't care which party is in power, but government must start to operate within the armpits of the law, and not just do what they want because of people pressurizing them or pressuring them. So the Firearm Act Amendment Bill, I'm cool with that. And you must give a reason why you need it. People believe having a firearm, as I said to you, it should be the last thing you use. And you're supposed to be trained in when and how to use it. You should know the various situations when to use your firearm. Now, people are complaining. You see, one thing I realize about we St. Lucians, one thing, just give me a minute. One thing I realize about we St. Lucians, we do not like change and we do not like to follow rules. We like to do things vitae anyhow. How are we going to do better in this country if we just oppose everything because we do not like whoever is in power? The Prime Minister said you could be on a bicycle, you could be on a truck, you could be on whatever, and the police asks you to stop, you have to stop. That I agree with. If you don't stop, you could be fined up to $15,000. This is what he said. You can be fined up to $15,000 and whatever other penalties. So, we have to be careful what we push on social media, what we push on the airwaves, because I remember that vividly, that the police officers were doing their stops at a particular place. And they tried to stop a guy. And he sped off on the motorbike. I think because he sped off, his leg got mashed up. I even think maybe this guy lost his leg or whatever. And he just stopped. And people are complaining about the amount. People, if we want to do better, whether it is Jack Robinson or Batman or Ninja Turtle, are the ones who bring in the law and it's good. Let us support it. Because I remember when it was a sergeant, they had some stop and everything, and I was in the Jeep driving, and it was after 11, and the sergeant No, he wasn't a sergeant. He's higher than that. An inspector or superintendent, whatever, stopped me. When I see police, I get afraid. I stop in, I listen to them. I'm doing everything they ask me to do because I know my right. I can call a lawyer. And this is how people have to think. Not because the Prime Minister and the Parliament, and remember, it's the 17 men seated in Parliament that passed this bill, not one person. So even if the Prime Minister decides to say that, and we are on the road and the police officers ask us to stop. We must, what are we teaching those young children? When I see authority, when I see cops, I listen to them, I stay in, I listen to them. I remember in a week, them cops stopped me 3 times. And I was like, guys, every stop you're stopping me. They say, oh, we just checking. The last stop, when they stopped me, I was actually on my way home, and I didn't have my driver's license because I went out and I shift my stuff from one place to the other. He said, where is your driver's license? And I explained to him. I told him, I have it, you all stopped me so many times. I shifted, must be in a purse. He said, okay, go ahead. The police officers are human beings like you and I. The police officers are human beings like you and I. I am not saying that there are some that are rough and tough and whatever. But they are human beings, and I believe if you how will I say it? If you adhere to what they're asking you to do, you do it, and then you say, always remember your right. Do not allow your right to turn your wrong. Always sit back and say, okay, let them do what they have to do, don't get on. And then there is a culture in our country where civilians do not respect the law. Now, how are we supposed to get better? How are we supposed to move forward when we do not respect the law? When we do what we want, how we want, when we want? And it is sad. It is time that we come to a place in our country that even if somebody is your opponent, you can say this is good and tell people this is what they have done. Let us listen. Let us do this. But then we have adults all over social media disagreeing with the fines of when they ask you to stop in traffic. It tells me we are lost. We as adults, we're no example. It tells me that we are lost. And the young people, what do you expect the young people to do? What do you expect the young people to do? Now we are going to take a coffee break, and we will be right back. Let's think a little here. We as citizens of St. Lucia, we have to think of what is best for us and our country. People are making noise about the 15,000, but have you heard anybody? And we are a very laid-back society, and que sera, anything goes. Nobody really wants to take up the mantle to do anything. And a critical component of a citizen or citizens of a country living at a good standard is as a result of a proper pay. In St. Lucia, do we have a minimum wage? Now, the people who are supposed to be making the noise for the minimum wage are not the business owners, not government, you the people. But we would spend hours on Facebook watching shows that do nothing for our pockets. Why don't people come together? And this is what, when people realize that there is a common goal and a common cause, they will come together. They will come together and fight. Now, everybody is feeling the pinch, and let me tell you something. It is only going to get dread. And I was watching the news, the American news, and inflation has risen, and they said the economy is dwindling, it's not going too good. Where does that leave you as a worker? Where does that leave you as a St. Lucian? Getting next to nothing a month. Some people make $200 a fortnight. How are they supposed to live? Because your wages are adjusted when you have a minimum wage based on inflation. People have worked all their life. When you tell me, this is why I'm saying maybe St. Lucia is not ready for my kind of thinking. St. Lucia is not ready for me, because it's just going to continue. But it cannot continue when we have a younger generation coming up. When you tell me people have worked for over 30, 40 years, and they are taking home a pension of $300, how are people supposed to live on $300 pension? These are the things we're supposed to be talking about. But let me tell you what we do. We hype up the people who already have the money, put them in power, put them in office, and we are happy for them. But we are not happy for ourselves, because we're going home with $300 pension. What can that do for you? That cannot even buy groceries. I call Wasco for my water bill. Wasco is telling me my water bill is $61. And I need to find out from Wasco how it reached $61, because you know what, I just pay for water $20-something. I don't have no problem paying for water, because water is life. But you know, and I must be honest, you know, from the time I'm living here, I never really miss water with Wasco. I can give them that on my end, you know, because when I came to live in the area, Wasco was not there yet, and we really worked with Wasco to bring the water and everything here. So I never really have a problem with Wasco in terms of water. I know a lot of other people have issues, and you know, this is sad, and Wasco need to get their act together. Right? When you have a pensioner going home with $300, now I heard the Prime Minister said he is given $500 to government pensioners. Now, what I want the Prime Minister to understand, what I want him to understand, there are other people in the private sector. Because when you look at it, a lot of people run to the government service because they are protected. We in the private sector, we ain't protected by nothing. And when you tell me, people, how long, and I had a very, maybe the person might know who they're talking to now, but I had a very interesting topic with a wonderful lady at NIC. She knows she was talking to. I didn't say who I was, but she might know now if she watches my show. And we were talking. I was saying to her, people die so quickly. I tell her, look at the young people. They die so quickly. They do not live to see our age or older. And I said to her, when the pension age is 65, how long do people stay to enjoy that money. Now, they're saying if they decrease the pension age, what would happen? They won't have enough money to pay out pensions, but something has to be done. Now, I'm going to hold the Prime Minister of St. Lucia accountable, because he said when he came into office, he would put back all the monies that was loaned from our NIC. Put it back. Because you cannot tell me, people, when you reach 50, let me tell you, that's when you want to just be on your own vibe, going to work from what time to what time, working like a buoy. How are you going to enjoy your pension? When you really look at life, what are you really living for? You are living to die. When you look at life, what are you living for? You living to die. Go to work, pay bill, pay. It's a circle. We are not living to live, we are living to die. Because we don't even make time for ourselves. Work, work, work. And you're telling me, government, people, we have to start talking. We have to start talking for the things that affect all of us. Think. We're thinking too much. Let me tell you what is going on. We are thinking too much on the side of the benefits of politicians. We need to start thinking for ourselves, our benefits. You mean to tell me government workers can claim early retirement 55, but people in the private sector have to wait 65 years? People do not have time to enjoy their lives and enjoy their children, enjoy their grandchildren. We have to work until 65. Why don't we agitate for legislation in the private sector, or the bill or something to say the retirement age in St. Lucia across the board is 55? The excuse is they won't have enough money. Really? These are the things we have to be thinking about. But everybody is, let me tell you, let us stop putting our faith in men, in one man, in one woman, and let us put the faith in ourselves so that we all can come together to make a difference. Imagine if we all come together with one mind. You gotta change this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But everybody, nobody cares. Sarah, nobody cares. So we are talking tonight, people. We are discussing tonight. It's month end for a lot of people. And when people speak to me, excuse me, there is some Saharan dust about the place, people. People, I have been suffering. I've been fighting this kind of weather for 2 weeks, really fighting it. And ginger tea helps a lot. There is this plume of dust. It is so thick that it is preventing the rain from coming down. The Saharan dust. And this is my worst nightmare. And not mine alone, many people, because some of my girlfriends message me to say, so Saharan dust is here. I said, yes, I know. I've seen it, because we track to see what is happening. So my people, let us do things for us. We are only passing on this world. We are not here forever. Let us make each other's life more comfortable. And since this is dread times, we cannot even help our brother or sisters the way we used to help them, because things are expensive, things rough, money low. These are the things. So when you're saying to me that, this is why I say to people, I don't worry. If there's one thing, I don't worry. When I lie down in my bed, I gone. Because worrying proves nothing, does nothing. But we need to come together, people. It is hard. And I believe that there are many people in St. Lucia that need some income support. And I believe that the government of St. Lucia should have stats wherever the number of households, the number of people, I know they're doing their census, the number of people in the household, budget to give every household, if you cannot give $1,500, $750 for 3 months. That is putting people first. We are suffering here. We know it is global, but we need to feel a little relief. And again, people are going into depression. People are messaging me with all their issues, all their problems. I have my own issues. I can't solve everybody's issue. We should have agencies in place dealing with situations like that. A lot of people need the financial assistance. Now, some people, you will have to give them food vouchers, or you may have to give them Lucilec, Wasco, or whatever your vouchers, because some people take that money and they go and do the wrong things. They go party, they go all kind of buy clothes. We want to ensure that the money is given. So maybe what you can do is give vouchers. Give $500 vouchers for people to shop for 3 months. It is dread, it is dread, it is dread. And we want the Prime Minister to change his narrative. Is the way he says things. You cannot help. As I said, the inflation is not his fault. But you have to do something to relieve us of this chronic pain we are feeling. We're just rapping tonight. We're just talking. We're just vibing with each other. We have to be concerned, people. We have to be concerned. And you could know how well your country is doing based on their health. We need proper health care in this country. We're fighting. Let me tell you, if you know you're not breaking the law, why would you care about Firearms Act? Let the criminals think of it. If you know you're not breaking the law, why would you care about the $15,000 if when they ask you to stop in traffic, you don't stop? Let us focus on the things for ourselves to make us better. Let us agitate for more, because people, it is drastically hard in this country. And everybody, imagine people are saying they're only buying what they need. They're not even buying what the amount they used to buy before, what they need. We are living in distressful times, critical times. What are we doing about it? Let us take another coffee break. I'll see you after the break. Thinkers, we are back. Now, when we look at the world, I can safely say the world has gone mad. I can safely say the world has gone mad. Do you know that it is almost impossible for us to get a, let's go to St. Lucia's with time visa appointment with times. You know, when you look at, so much is going on in this world, so much, that if you do not have faith in God, and if you are not mentally strong, you can go off. The world has gotten into a place that many can't understand. We have passport issues here, passport wars. And then the United States of America is saying to you that if you need a visitor visa and you're applying to the embassy in Bridgetown, it will take 673 calendar days. So they're telling you by May 2024, you can get an appointment to get a visa. The world has gone mad. The world has gone mad. Nobody cares for anybody again. Now, what I am saying, if the wait is so long, the student exchange visitor visa is 31 days. That's in Bridgetown, Barbados. And all other non-immigrant visa take 273 calendar days. Now, this is what I am saying. If you don't educate yourself and find out information and see where you are, mind your business for yourself, because nobody is minding your business for you. Everybody in drama, but nobody minding those things. Although they have a section, if it's a medical, funeral, or whatever, they're gonna, work it out for you. But what's about the people who just want to go on a vacation or something and they need to renew their visa? What is happening? So I am putting it here for y'all to see. And I want to show you, if you're applying for the embassy in Georgetown, the visitor visa takes 887 days before you get an appointment. The student exchange visitor visa takes 30 calendar days. And all other non-immigrant visas takes 21 days. The world has gone mad. The world don't care for you as an individual. The world cares for those who have the ability to reach the elites and make things happen. And I'm not only talking about St. Lucia, I'm talking about the global world, the global village. They don't care for you. And I'm going to show you a video where people are standing outside like flies for a passport. You have to care for you. Let us fight for the right things. And if we all do, things will get better. Come on, people. Take a listen.
Frustrated people on long queues outside the Immigration and Passport Office on Tuesday morning prompted media personnel to seek answers from Home Affairs Minister Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot.
There is a problem with the building and the air quality. We just did a recent test and we find that the air quality in the building is still not up to the standard that we would want.
It was only Monday that the Home Affairs Department officially launched the new electronic passport. Dr. Albert Poyot says the release of the new travel documents have played a part in the lines outside the immigration office.
The Department of Home Affairs is looking at alternative venue for us to get the workers. I think there may be a shortage of workers because a few persons have indicated some little problems with their skin. So that would create some kind of delay. And since we are introducing the new passport, there is a backlog of persons who are waiting.
A confluence of factors has grounded the delivery of the highly anticipated electronic passports to a snarl. But Dr. Albert Poyot is optimistic of a speedy resolve and the rectification of these issues.
We have about over 1,000 persons waiting for their new passport. So that's a huge amount to clear. And we are also in the process of increasing the staff so that we can expedite the process. So maybe in the next week or 2 weeks, and I think what the department will have to do is to send announcements to the people and let them know that there is a certain quota, so they do not have people waiting for a whole day and know they will not get attention.
Critics of the passport office chaos argue that given the prominence of the launch of the new electronic passport, the relevant agencies should have anticipated a run on the office and taken preemptive steps with the implementations of arrangements to facilitate applications.
St. Lucians, we expect them to understand that everything will happen. Persons who needed emergency passports or passports to travel, all these persons got their passports. So these are persons who just need their passport just as a secondary form of identification, or they just want to have their passport for if in case they have to travel. So a lot of the persons, there is no urgency for them to get their passport like today. But persons who are traveling and they have medical attention, all these persons got their passports for them to travel.
Poyot says there is no duration or timeline for the phasing out of the machine-readable passports, and people are expected to renew their passports upon the expiration of the outdated travel documents. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
Yes, so I think Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I think they are processing 50 passports, and Tuesdays and Thursdays is for emergency and other stuff. The world do not care for us. The world have gone mad, and we are left to adapt for ourselves. We are left to adapt for ourselves. And when you really think of it, this world is not our home. We're just passing through. Because we're supposed to be on this earth being happy and, enjoying the steps of life and what we go through. But right now, what we are going through, it's like hell. It's like hell on earth. It's not even enjoyable again, because things that's supposed to be so easy, so simple to get, is so stressful. Sometimes I wonder, I'm just wondering, because I myself was saying, suppose, but then somebody said that, and I too also had that same mindset, think. But I said to myself, if all the Caribbean nations had to say to America, you need a visa to come, what would happen? You know who would be the losers? We. Because our economy depends on tourism. But it is so unfair. We are developing island states, third world countries, so the developing countries take advantage of us. So we don't care with you. We don't care if you want to go overseas to one of our countries and have fun and you need a visa. We don't care with you. We're not there until 2024. We don't care with you. Do what the hell you want. The world has gone mad. From the time of COVID, everything just went upside down. But I still believe man has the capability of making things better for you and me, however they choose not to. When you say to me that somebody has to wait 887 days for a visa appointment in Guyana, 600 and whatever days for an appointment in Bridgetown, Barbados, and a big country superpower like the United States of America, with all the technology, with all the know-how, is saying that if America is in that state in terms of granting non-immigrants and students visa, it tells me the world is going nowhere. It tells me something is wrong. And I just spoke to you tonight, food for thought, so that you could see what is happening in our country, what is happening in the world. This is a time for us to come together so that we can show and tell this administration the little you have, send it towards the people of St. Lucia, because we are suffering. People have to play Mickey Mouse, which one to pay, which bill not to pay, what to buy, what not to buy. It is dread times, my people. Let us not fight for the elites. Let us not fight for these politicians. Let's fight for ourselves. Let's fight so that we can live. Because I can tell you, if we don't fight for each other and for us to live, we won't be able to live. The elites, the people with the money, are the ones going to be able to live. We won't be able to live. We all will suffer. Imagine you have to wait until you're 65. You know, how many people live to see 65 to enjoy their pension? And we have to think, why aren't things being done? Pension coming out from your salary, your NIC. Why aren't things being done people base? Look at our country. See what is happening. The death range, age. Why don't we do those things? Let us arise, people. Let us arise as a people and see things through the eyes of each other and not the elites. I believe that a bill should be passed for the private sector that people retire at 55 also. You know, people believe because some of them want to work until 150 years that everybody's supposed to work until 150 years. It is time to open our minds, open our thinking. Think you, think people-oriented, think us. And when we do that, we will move forward. When we do that, we will move forward. We will play the coffee video one more time. So take a listen, have a look. Tonight I went very easy. We had a little chat. You know, a lot of people say they want more of so-so, they want to hear more of so-so, they want to hear so-so talk and speak to them, and that's fine. You know, I'll do more of that, but there'll be teaching moments when I show you stuff. And some of the young people have been calling me and messaging me about the youth economy and what they're supposed to do. Some of them missed the show I did on Tuesday, and I said to them, you know, there, go have a look. Build yourself. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Not your best friend, not your husband, not your wife, not your children. You have to think of you. Think of you and build yourself. Have a great, great, great day.